Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, hold on. Let me find you. Hold on just a second.
Right.
Oh, goodness. Let me make sure it's open. Open Zoom. There you are. Can you see? Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem.
So sorry about that. Thank you for doing this. And is it okay to record you?
Yes, I'm trying to share my screen. It says that host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, let me look on here, share screen, and it says one participant can share multiple. Okay, let me go to advanced sharing options. Multiple, who can share? All participants. Thank you so much. So who can share? All participants, and
okay,
then
perfect. Let me.
You've got that. Can you?
I think that. Okay, can you see my screen?
I can see your screen. Perfect.
All right, is that the right one I have up?
That's it. Perfect.
Okay. I honestly, this is my first Zoom meeting. I went all of pandemic without a Zoom meeting. So
have you really? Oh my gosh, that's kind of amazing. The whole pandemic. Well, I'm going to go over my little prepared script here real quick. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So thank you for meeting with me today. We're continually trying to improve our product, and getting your frank feedback is a really important part of that. You already gave us permission to go ahead and record you. And so we're going to keep the session pretty informal, and I'm just going to try and learn from you today. I'm going to ask a lot of questions, but I'm not testing you. So there's no right or wrong answers. So I'm going to start this session by asking some background questions, and then I'm going to show you some things that we're working on, and then you'll do some tasks.
Okay.
And as you work on the tasks, you're going to have to think aloud. So basically what that means is, so kind of give a running commentary as you're doing the work, as you're going through the task, kind of say, I'm trying to do this now, so that way we can all understand why you're going to each different thing that you're going to. And so if you see things that you like, tell me. If you see things that are confusing, tell me. If things you don't understand, tell me. And since I didn't design it, you're not going to hurt my feelings or anything. In fact, frank, candid feedback is the most helpful. And so I'm testing the product. So if you get stuck or confused, it's not your fault. It helps us identify the problems that we need to fix. And then if you do get stuck, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to try and see what you would do if you were using it on your own. But don't worry, if you need any assistance for real, I'll just jump in. And so it's a prototype. So what that means is that some of the links, the buttons, the features may not work. They just don't function. Do you have any questions before we begin?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so a little background questions real quick. What do you do to take care of yourself, to stay in shape, to stay active?
Well, I have 2 dogs, so just keeping up with them mostly.
That's perfect. Okay, and then have you used any apps, websites, or other programs to help you with fitness?
Nothing that I've really stuck to continuously, but a lot of screenshots of sharing between group texts with girlfriends. Oh, I found this one, I found this, and just kind of hit and miss, but there's nothing really consistently that has stood out to me.
Okay, well, perfect. Thank you. And then also, is there anybody who helps keep you active? Friends, coaches, teachers?
Yeah, my boyfriend and the dogs, got to keep up with all of them.
Those dogs are great for that, aren't they? And then do you ever share info about your workouts or your goals with anyone?
Yeah, usually the close girlfriends and stuff like that, the little bit more candid conversations of what's really happening.
That's perfect. And then what, if anything, do you do to keep track of what you're doing?
Notes on my phone, really, there's not a ton of organization to it, which is terrible, but it's more, since it's private on my phone, I can keep it, and it's something that I don't have to worry about logging and putting somewhere else,
Right, exactly. That's true. That's true. Well, are there any specific formats that you look for in a workout, or a type of workout that you look to do?
Easy to follow, like the style of like what I'm looking for, or like the actual workout itself?
Yeah, the style of what you're looking for.
Something that's easy to follow. I know a lot of times I've run into websites or videos that they go through it really fast, or they have these amazing fitness personnel that are doing it. I'm like, okay, well, let's slow it down. Like, how exactly do you do that? Like, I'm still trying to figure out the basic moves and not trying to go into it.
You're like, give me some info on how to do that. I got it. Okay, well, we're gonna to the prototype now, and I sent that to you and you pulled it up. Perfect, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were on this prototype right now, how would you create an account?
The sign up button right at the bottom. Do you want me to go ahead and click through them?
Yeah, go ahead and click it.
Okay, yeah.
Perfect. And then what do you see on this page?
I definitely like the two options of with Facebook. I know that's been really popular with a lot of apps that you don't necessarily want to put in your email. And so I personally use like my quote unquote junk email for stuff like that. So it's nice to have it in one place. And I'm like, oh God, what's another password? So I like that you can sign up with both.
Perfect. Okay, so then what would you do?
Probably through Facebook.
Perfect. Okay. And then what do you see on this page?
The pricing, it's really nicely laid out, and it's not one of those that it's like, oh, it's going to be free. Then all of a sudden it has the billing hidden underneath, which is a lot of what I've run into with the apps that I'm like, oh, has great reviews. And then you get all the way through, you make your entire profile and it's, oh, by the way, it's going to be $20 a month. And you're like, well, I wish I would have known that to start with.
Exactly. Well, thank you. Okay. So then what would you do on this page?
Definitely start with the trial, kind of get a feel for the app of what's gonna, go through and stuff.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I see what you did there. Well, if that's not working, what is there anything else that you could push?
I wonder. Okay. So it's nice that you can exit out of that. So I probably just start with the monthly.
And then it's a prototype. So instead of building all of them, they just did one so that way you could see. So it's selected. So you can go ahead and click the start.
Okay.
Okay. And then on this page, what is it asking for?
Just basic information. Sorry, I didn't mean to click ahead. Just the basic information, everything, credit card numbers, the kind of standard, everything going on.
Perfect. And then what would you do next?
Complete.
Good. Okay. So then let's see. Now that we're here, obviously in this prototype, there are thousands of videos in the actual app. But on this prototype, they've only put together on Step Boss PHA3, they've only added a little bit of information on that one. Can you find the PHA3 video and select it? Perfect. Okay, so then some of it has been added on there. And then this page right here, what do you notice about this page?
It's nice that it has the different options of it lists out like the different things you're going to need for it, that it's not one of those things that I know a lot of times that you get really excited. You're like, oh, I'm going to start this workout. And then you're like, oh, wait, I need so many things that they didn't tell me. That it's nice that things are listed, that the equipment you'll need is right there before you even start the video. So you don't get invested to something that you're like, okay, well, what now? So.
Well, that's good. Well, then on this page, after looking at it a little bit closer, what would you do if you were going to log your workouts? Where would you go, do you think?
Let's see. The workout manager. Oh.
Okay, so now it says, since you're leaving Figma, go ahead and click on that link, that blue link. Yeah, perfect. Click there. And then what do you notice about this link where it took you?
It has a lot going on.
What's included on this page? Like what?
It kind of just has a little bit of everything. That it literally says like what's included, which is nice, that it's nicely broken down into the different categories. You can see that it's nice that it has the screenshot of kind of what you're going to see in the future without getting too far into it. And so just kind of your general profile of your own personal workout.
Okay. And do you see anything that does anything stick out at you or anything on this page, or any questions about this page?
I noticed that on the screenshot, it has like the little camera icon with the progress, which is nice because I know a lot of people take the before and after, and, you know, the duration of their weight loss goals. So it's nice to have a place to store that that's not necessarily in your camera roll. So I know it would be awkward trying to be like, oh, let me show you a picture of my dog. And you're like, oh, just kidding. That's a picture of me in my underwear for my weight loss journey kind of thing. So it's nice kind of combining it to one that it's your own personal thing without sharing it with the rest of the world necessarily if you didn't want to.
Okay, well, so do you think that you might use this feature, or?
Yeah, it's nice. It also says it's free. And so it's something to entice you to really bring you in without overwhelming you with too much.
Okay, all right. Well, then let's go back to the tab with the prototype on it. Perfect. And then where would you go to find out more about this video?
Like the users. Just click.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I'm sorry. And then as you're scrolling down, just say anything that sticks out to you about this.
It's nice that it looks like you can download it. So without, like, if you ever want to reference it back without having internet, so which is always kind of nice, that I always like that kind of thing, that, and it shows the DVDs, which is nice, and just the overview of it all. And just, I like that it's really going into the different workouts and has a good description of each without going over the top. It is a lot of text at first though, so it's a little overwhelming when you first read it. You're like, oh God, okay. But it's nice that it breaks it down with the table of contents without, and it's not too long, which is nice.
Okay.
It's nice having the equipment, especially if somebody isn't, you know, familiar with certain things, that they're not going to know. If they're shopping at Walmart, they're like, okay, so I know I need this, but what's it actually look like? So
perfect.
The different steps is nice, and just the quick starts, and it's, oh, I like the monthly workout plans. I know a lot of times you start something, you're just like, okay, where do I begin? I don't know. But with this, it's like, okay, here's what we have planned for you, which is always nice to have that little fallback if you don't know what to do. There's a lot of different options.
It is a lot of text, like you said.
It's broken down really nice though, without being all just one big block of text.
Perfect. So do you think that you would use this feature, or?
Yeah, it would be nice just to, I'm one of those, I print everything out. So it'd be nice to kind of put it up on the wall and physically be able to check it off without, to give a little bit more satisfaction to it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's go back to the prototype tab again. Okay, and then what would you do if you wanted to buy a mat for this workout? Where would you go?
Purchase equipment.
Sorry, go ahead, click it. Thank you. Okay, and then anything about this page that you notice?
It's nice that it brings up what I'm assuming is going to be exactly for that workout that you had pulled up, and just all the different options for it. And so it's nice that a lot of times they'll just show you the one option that's like, here's the most expensive one. But it's nice that it's like, okay, here's a couple different options, a couple different colors and resistance bands and stuff like that. So it's a good variety.
Okay, good. And then we'll go ahead and go back to the prototype again. And then I guess finally on that page, what would you do if you wanted to create your own workout?
Let's see. The workout blender.
Good job. And then as you scroll up through this, and if you want to tell me what you think this is all about.
Well, first I was thinking like blender bottles. So that was a little confusing at first, that when I think of workouts, I think of those blender bottles. So I was like, oh, I wonder if that's another product, but it makes sense, you know, blend your workout. That it's nice that it looks like you can kind of put the clips together, shows the demo of it, and kind of gear it towards you. Like I was saying earlier, that I know one of the most frustrating things that I've run into, that it's like, okay, here's your workout, and it's all super intense. You're like, okay, well, I have really bad knees, so I can't necessarily do this entire workout. And so it'd be nice to be like, okay, well, I can't do these things, and let me put it all together, instead of like, okay, well, here's another tab and here's another one, that it's all in one central location, which is nice.
Okay, that's good. And then if you would go back to, again, to the prototype. Thank you so very much. Okay, what would you do if you wanted to see the video? What would you click on?
Play video.
There you go. Okay, do you notice anything about this page?
It's nice that it has the scroll bar that you can like toggle, it's the right word, to scroll back and forth and scrub through it without, if you were interrupted or needed to, you're like, okay, I can only do 10 minutes and I want to do this portion of it, that with the menu and the back button, that it shows you at the top what exactly you need to be doing. Especially, I'm one of those, I like to read everything and pause it, like, okay, give me a second, take a breath, get some water, and this is what I'm going to be doing.
Perfect. So you would use that feature where it tells you, you know, that she's going to do 16 reps and how much she's actually using. Would that be helpful for you?
Yeah, it's nice to always take like a quick little screenshot. And like I said, you know, those group messages with your girlfriend, you're like, hey, I found this great one. Like, here's a screenshot from it, that it actually works and it's not gonna be terrible.
Perfect. Okay. And what would you do on this page if you wanted to go back to the previous page?
The little arrow right there.
Perfect. And then if you wanted to go back again?
Same arrow.
Very good. Okay. And then what would you do if you wanted to find a specific video on this page? Oh,
There's
there
a
we
nice
go.
search icon. Yeah.
Okay. And then if you want to just scroll down and just kind of look through the different things on there and point out anything if you notice anything.
It's nice that it has the different categories already listed out, that especially with the feature you showed me where you can blend it all together, that it looks like it'll be nice to be like, okay, quick little, I know I want to do these certain things and skip these certain things. So I like the duration time too, because I know a lot of times you're kind of limited by, you're like, oh, well, I don't really have an hour, but I can do 20 minutes kind of thing.
Okay. And then, so as you were talking about the categories, are there any categories that you definitely think you would use?
Not a huge cardio person, honestly, but the core and stretching's a big one. The equipment's a big one too, that we just have a few things here, like an exercise ball, but the stuff that we don't have a full rack of weights, but we just kind of have a handful, that it'd be nice to be like, okay, well, this is what I have on hand, and just kind of go through there, that don't have boxing gloves, so probably going to skip that.
Perfect. Okay. And is there anything on here that any categories you just definitely would not use?
Like I said, probably the advanced stuff, you know, got to start slow. That kind of, it's nice that it shows you, it eases you into it, but probably more the cardio, the boot camp and stuff like that, that I like to ease into it a little more.
Perfect. Okay. If you hit R on your keyboard, it should take you back to the very beginning.
Okay.
Good deal. Okay. Now let's say that you had already you already had an account. Where would you click?
Up here on sign in.
And then what? What'd you do?
On the email.
Good. Yay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. And then let's see. If you hit R one more time and go back to the beginning, I promise this is the end of it. I promise. So if you would just go ahead and click sign in again, where would you click if you couldn't remember your entire account information?
Definitely forgot your password, or the continue with Facebook is still nice too. Oh, that's nice that it sends it to your email, the 4-digit code.
Okay. And you can go ahead and click.
Okay.
Perfect. Good job. Okay. Well, good. All right. Let me get through all these pages that I didn't have to read all that to you. You're so fast. That's great. So what did you think of the fitness app overall?
It's nice. I like specifically on this page where it's laid out with the different categories in the other page where it had like the actual categories listed, especially with the equipment. It's really nice that people that are wanting to do home workouts, and especially with the pandemic, don't want to go to the gym or don't want to sign up or have kids, that it looks like it's very accessible to all. That if you do have kids around that, so you're like, okay, well, there's some light stuff you can do if you want to work out with the parents and stuff like that, that it's not just, okay, I'm going to go hard in the gym and kind of be isolated, that it's more of an inclusive to an everyday lifestyle.
Perfect. Thank you. And then in what ways would you want this changed to make it better for you?
Just going to kind of look around.
Thank you.
I mean, I really like it so far. That it is a little overwhelming. Like you said, there's thousands of videos, so trying to scroll through all of them might be a little intimidating at first, but having the search feature is nice to kind of narrow that down.
Anything else that you just, it doesn't look good to you, or just think
I mean, there's nothing huge that stands out to me that's like, oh God, this is terrible. So it looks very nicely put together. That there's a lot of information without being overwhelming. That, I mean, people love the pictures, and that's a main selling point, without being like, okay, well, I'm going to explain everything to you all at once. So
perfect. Well, thank you so very much. This has been really insightful and helpful, and your insight is vital for me and my team as we consider how to develop these ideas. I so appreciate that you took this time to virtually meet and answer all of my tons of questions. And your gift certificate is going to be in your email. And I just want to say thank you again, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any more suggestions or anything that you think of. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so very much. I hope you have a great night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.